Maternal love is the most selfless love in the world. For the happiness of children, mothers are willing to give everything. One morning, a Jewish baby was born in a hospital in New York City, USA. "Can I see my baby?" the child's mother happily asked the doctor. Immediately after, the doctor handed the small bag wrapped in the baby into her arms, removed the quilt, and saw the baby's small face. She couldn't help gasping. The doctor couldn't bear to look again, and quickly turned his face away. It turned out that the baby was born without ears. His father named him Jamie. After a period of time, Jamie's parents were fortunate to find that the child's hearing was not impaired, just like normal people. The lack of ears only mars his looks. But innocent Jamie doesn't realize he's different from the other kids. Under the care of his parents, he spent a happy and carefree childhood. Time passed, and when Jamie was 7 years old, he walked through the school gate. One day, Jamie ran home from school suddenly, plunged into his mother's arms, cried loudly, and choked up what happened to his mother at school. "A boy. An older kid called me freaks." After listening to the child's confession, the mother sighed and hugged Jamie tightly, knowing that the child's life would encounter continuous blows in the future. As Jamie grew up, he became more and more different because he had no ears. The classmates liked him very much. If it weren't for his flaws in appearance, he might have become the monitor. And in literature and music, he also showed extraordinary talent. "Why don't I have ears?" Jamie often asked his mother. "Otherwise, you will be indistinguishable from other children." The mother comforted her son, but her heart was full of pain and love. Finally, one day, Jamie realized that he was actually a disabled person. Because he had no ears, he felt inferior, and he no longer wanted to go to school. His personality became more and more withdrawn, and he dared not even go out of the house. Parents feel very distressed by this. Jamie's father asked a doctor he knew well, "Is there really no remedy for the child's defects? If I can get a pair of ears, I believe I can perform a transplant operation for him." The doctor was very sure tell him, but where to find a pair of ears? Who is willing to make such a huge sacrifice for a child? And it costs a lot of money to do the surgery. 2 years passed, and one day Dad said to Jamie, "Son, you're going to the hospital for an operation. Mommy and I have found someone who will donate your ear, but the identity of the donor is a secret." The transplant was very successful, and Jamie finally had a pair of ears. He was so happy. It was like a different person. He went back to school again, and his potentials continued to blossom and bear fruit, growing rapidly, and success followed. After graduating from university, he got married, his career went smoothly, and he became a diplomat as he wished. Working in a majestic government building, going out to social occasions where people drink wine, and returning home with a charming and virtuous wife, Jamie often raises his hands and touches his ears when he is happy. He really wants to thank the mysterious donor face-to-face man. It is precisely because of these ears that he has regained the courage and confidence in life that he can achieve today's achievements. "I must know," he urgently asked his father. "Who gave me such a generous donation? Who is so kind?" "Son, according to the agreement, you can't know, at least not yet." The years passed quietly, and although he also conducted a long investigation in private, he still failed to find the mysterious donor. However, the day to reveal the mystery finally arrived. It was possibly the darkest day Jamie had ever experienced in his life. He stood with his father in front of his mother's coffin. Slowly, gently, Dad reached forward with a hand and brushed away Mom's thick, gray hair. He was surprised to find that the mother who was lying there had no ears, and he understood everything at once. "I finally know why Mom said she was glad she never had to cut her hair." Jamie, who was already in tears, whispered to Dad, Nobody thinks mom is less beautiful than she used to be. Right? The most precious and beautiful gift. Love breeds the warmest and purest feeling in the world. Love melts in our hearts and spreads to every corner of the world. This is a moving story. Precisely because it depicts a kind of selfless maternal love to us. French writer Maupassant once said, "The most beautiful scene in the world appears when we miss our mother."